the Wolves and Lakers in the nightcap. And we will start with the late game because that happened sooner, and you probably were not watching. This was not the most compelling television. Anthony Davis, remember him, the unibrow? Yeah, well, he went out and with all the pomp and circumstance about his teammates, he had 36 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, and a partridge in a pear tree as the Lakers were never really in danger in the second half. A bad opening act for Minnesota. Lakers win by 7. The subplot got all the talk, and that is where we will talk here with you. LeBron James. Not that this has been planned for months, but LeBron and Bronny, the spawn of LeBron James' kid, Bronny James, the Nepo baby, became the first father and son duo to play in the NBA at the same time, let alone on the same team. So let us discuss the question. Were you mesmerized by LeBron and Bronny playing together? So my thoughts on this, I've got Phantom of the Opera, Courthouse Square, and Magic Dragon. And we will tie all of these things together, and we're going to tie some loose ends. So my first thought here, I would not use the word mesmerized to describe my reaction watching LeBron and Bronny play. I believe that this whole thing is bull-pucky. Now, you can say I'm dancing at the haters' ball all you want, but I'm going to tell you why. Watching all of this play out over the last couple of months, and this is really a couple of months since the NBA draft, and even before the NBA draft, I feel like I'm on Broadway, and it's like an old showing of Phantom of the Opera. The choreography that went into this, next level. They should win a Tony Award. It was not organic. It was scripted reality. Did Andrew Lloyd Webber do the musical score for this game? I mean, this was scheduled. It was planned, and it happened. It was reported it's going to happen in the second quarter, and on cue, you had 39-year-old LeBron and 20-year-old son, the Nepo baby, who played almost 2.5 minutes together late in the first half. And that was it. That was Bronny's debut, the spawn of Bron. Now, how did Bronny James do? Some people are ripping LeBron's kid, Bronny James. I'm gonna praise him because it's very hard to have a 0-0 in your NBA debut, and he did it. He pitched a shutout. Very rare to have a shutout. He did it. No points, no rebounds, no assists, 0 for 1 shooting. I think the kids call that a cardio game, although he didn't get much cardio because he wasn't in the game very long. The whole thing, though, and here's my position, and you juxtapose what happened with, they had Griffey Jr. and his old man were there for, I'm told, for a Nike commercial. This whole thing was for a Nike commercial, right? The whole event was for a Nike commercial. But Bronny did not earn this. He was given this because of his daddy, and I saw LeBron interviewed after the game, and he thanked the man upstairs. I think he was talking about Adam Silver for going along with his plan. I think that's what he was talking about. Now, page 2. So as far as the game on the court, where do you have this year's vintage of the LeBron Lakers? So they won the first game of the year. Whee! But ultimately, they are a middleweight. So do not get hornswoggled by the win, lackluster effort by Minnesota there. If you go up to a plane, 30,000 feet in the sky, and you look at the purple and gold, they are stuck in this massive gridlock of teams that are right in the middle. You got this snarl of flawed teams. Golden State used to be good, but they're a fraud. The Clippers have the curse of Kawhi Leonard, but they've got a lot of urinals, so they've got that going for them. The Suns, you don't really take seriously. The Mavericks, they were in the finals, but does anyone think they'll get back? Probably not. And then you have a team like Denver that won a championship a couple years ago. They have the top player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic, and yet everyone's forgetting about them. But all of these teams are bunched up. But the Lakers in particular are like, it's like Courthouse Square on the back lot at Universal Studios. It is a facade in terms of being a championship team. Reality is much different. They're phony. The verdict is they are a faux contender going into the season. Now, what is my evidence? You've got Father Time knocking on the door. LeBron turns 40 in late December. He'll be 40 by next postseason. I don't care what kind of magic beans he's taking. He's 40. Anthony Davis, while he played well in the opener, continues to be a papier-mâché player. You don't trust him. He missed so many games for so long. He played a lot of games last year. I don't care. The Lakers are a joke. They hired a podcaster as their coach. That tells you they're not trying to win. That douche canoe, J.J. Redick. You just want to see a guy like that fail, don't you? You just hope that J.J. Redick fails miserably. You really want that to happen. That would be some good karma. And they drafted LeBron's kid, who was a backup on a bad USC basketball team for a Nike commercial. Wonderful. Wonderful, 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 unless it's not. All right, last word. We're going to go to the early game in Boston. That's where Jason Tatum poured in 37 points, made 8 of the Celtics' record-tying 29 three-pointers, tied the Bucks for the all-time record. I'm surprised the record isn't 40 or 50 three-point shots as often as these teams shoot three-pointers. But Boston humiliated the Knickerbockers 132-109 on opening night. They raised their most recent 18th championship banner. The crowd went wild. But Boston, they led by as many as 35 points, and it was so funny in the fourth quarter. Game was over about halftime. But in the fourth quarter, Kevin Harlan's doing the play-by-play on Turner. And the Celtics knew they needed one more three-pointer. They had a bunch of scrubs in. They needed one more three-pointer to set the record. So they took 13 three-point shots. It was Pop-A-Shot. It was like being at Dave & Buster's, playing Pop-A-Shot, trying to break the record, and clank, brick. It was hilarious. As far as the Knicks are concerned, to answer the question about the Knicks and what was going on with that, the Knickerbockers, your early impressions on the Knicks. Well, my impression of the Knicks, not ready for prime time. The Knicks played like old-fashioned potato salad. They were creamy and soft. No perimeter defense, no attention to detail. Normally, Tom Thibodeau teams have defense and attention to detail. And Karl Anthony Towns, that was the guy that people goofed on in Minnesota for being passive, and he'll get his numbers on random nights, but he just wasn't there. All around the Knickerbockers, a smoldering pile of turds is the way they played in this particular game. And don't tell me the Celtics are just that much better. If you play some defense, you're going to be in position to not lose by 30-plus points or be down by 35 points. Now, TNT's Reggie Miller, if you're watching this game, Reggie Miller announced that on his big board, the Knickerbockers are the NBA's second-best team behind the Celtics. So how does that one hit you? So it hits me like what was hitting Reggie Miller and likely somewhere in his body, Puff the Magic Dragon, in terms of hyping up the Knickerbockers. There's some players in the Knicks that we like. We like Jalen Brunson. We like Tom Thibodeau, the coach, for example. But if you look at the Knickerbockers, you can't trust Karl Anthony Towns. It's a blueprint is what it is. It's not a finished product, and so it's a premature take. Karl Anthony Towns he's a dog, but not a dog, right? He's a dog with fleas. He's a dog you need dog, D-A-W-G, and he's D-O-G often, right? And so it's a bit of a toss-up. The Knicks will win a bunch of games because it's a regular season. It's all about what you do from mid-April until the end of the NBA Finals sometime in, the following year when the NBA playoffs end.